Do men that ejaculate more often have a decreased risk of prostate cancer? In this video, what I'm going to do is take a look at the impact of ejaculation frequency and the risks of developing prostate cancer. So for those of you who are brand new to my channel, my name is Lucas, the founder of Ergogenic Health, and my mission is to bring you the most cutting edge health information that you'll struggle to find on Google. So please do me a favor and like this video and hit subscribe to stay up to date with the latest and greatest health research. So how often should men be ejaculating? Are more frequent ejaculations associated with a decreased risk of prostate cancer? That is what we're going to be diving into in today's video. Just a quick point to note that ejaculation for many men does not equal orgasm. In fact, orgasm and ejaculation are two separate physiological phenomenons or processes that are sometimes often difficult to distinguish. It is possible that some men can achieve an orgasm without actually ejaculating. So this is something we need to bear in mind when considering some of these research papers. And specifically what we're looking at is how the frequency in which a man ejaculates, how that affects his risk of developing prostate cancer. I want to just take a side note to discuss something else somewhat related to this topic, and that is PSSD or post-SSRI sexual dysfunction. Throughout COVID, obviously there have been many people that suffered from, depression and or low mood and decided to go down the path and take SSRIs or antidepressant medication. And unfortunately, not many of these guys realize that some of these medications can lead to somewhat semi-permanent changes in their ability to experience an orgasm. So imagine what life would be like if you were able to get an erection whenever you wanted, but you could not achieve an orgasm, or your orgasm intensity has massively decreased and or just feels not pleasurable. That is what many people that take SSRI drugs unfortunately suffer from. So before we get into the research, I want to outline a bonus tip, no pun intended, for shooting bigger loads. Towards the end, I'll be sharing a formula that can make men actually shoot ropes and or release bigger loads upon ejaculation. So make sure to stick around for the end, as I will be sharing this particular formula that works for about 100% of guys that use the particular formula. The impact of ejaculation frequency and prostate cancer. Now, for this study, which was published in the Journal of European Urology, 31,925 men provided their average monthly ejaculation frequencies. From that, the researchers found that men who ejaculate more frequently also slash their chances of developing prostate cancer by up to 1/3. Now we can see this study was titled Ejaculation Frequency and Risk of Prostate Cancer, updated results with an additional decade of follow-up. Now, what they noted was that we evaluated whether ejaculation frequency throughout adulthood is related to prostate cancer risk in a large US-based study. We found that men reporting higher compared to lower ejaculation frequency in adulthood were less likely to be subsequently diagnosed with prostate cancer. These findings provide additional evidence of a beneficial role of more frequent ejaculation throughout adult life in the etiology of prostate cancer, particularly for low-risk disease. According to researchers at Harvard University, men should ejaculate at least 21 times a month in order to mitigate their prostate cancer risk. Obviously, this will fly in the face of all of those men out there that practice no-fap or no ejaculations. So this is really interesting. If you want to share maybe your experience down below with NoFap, drop a comment down below. Let's get a bit of a forum or a discussion going. I'd love to see what you guys think there. So you may be wondering then, how does ejaculation actually help the prostate? In addition to the prostate stagnation hypothesis, a number of other mechanisms have been proposed to explain an inverse association between ejaculation frequency and prostate cancer. More frequent ejaculation may influence the function of peripheral zone epithelial cells, hindering the metabolic switch from citrate secretion to citrate oxidation known to occur early in prostate tumorigenesis. Alternatively, more frequent ejaculation may reduce the development of prostatic intraluminal crystalloids, which have also been associated with higher risk of prostate cancer. Higher ejaculatory frequency may be linked to lowering of psychological tension and central sympathetic nervous system suppression, which could dampen the stimulation of prostate epithelial cell division. Now, this is a great example of how stress is known to destroy our health. And as we know, based on this hypothesis here, that the central sympathetic CNS activation is known to be activated during stress. And what they've noted is that this central sympathetic nervous system activation is actually known to affect epithelial cell differentiation and or division. So as I promised at the start of this video about shooting bigger loads, there is a particular formula that I really like that's created by More Plates, More Dates Derek. He has a formula which I'll break down here shortly that's basically designed to increase a man's ejaculation load, increase the power in which he's able to shoot his load. So I'll just break down the formula real quick so you can understand a little bit about each ingredient. The first ingredient I want to start with is something known as sunflower lecithin. Now, sunflower lecithin, not soy lecithin, has been known to massively increase a man's ejaculatory load and increase the liquid component of a man's load. This is well documented on Thunder's Place and other male forums, and even various porn stars have used sunflower lecithin with like celery seeds to massively increase their loads. I do cover more of this in my testosterone optimization course as well. You'll see that linked in the video description down below. Now, as for the other ingredients, vitamin E lowers prolactin and increases sperm motility. Zinc is known to be important for increasing sperm count and sperm volume. Selenium also plays a similar role. Vitamin D3, incredibly important for testosterone. Nitrocyanine, which is a vasodilatory agent, increases blood flow. Lysine has also been shown to increase sperm count. And then pygium extract is known to basically increase the prostatic seminal volume. So it can actually increase and also affect prostatic contractions. So it can actually increase the number of contractions that your prostate elicits during an ejaculation. So this particular formula must be accompanied with plenty of water. So you must make sure to drink plenty of water if you're using something like this for sex performance. So you'll be seeing that linked in the video description down below. And there'll be a discount code as well if you want to purchase this particular formula. Now, what's also pretty interesting is how that basically affects testosterone production. Now, this study here was titled Endocrine Response to Masturbation-Induced Orgasm in Healthy Men Following a 3-Week Sexual Abstinence. What's interesting is that orgasm increases blood pressure, heart rate, plasma catecholamines like norepinephrine, adrenaline, and also prolactin. In contrast, although plasma testosterone was not affected by orgasm, higher testosterone concentrations were observed following the period of abstinence. These data demonstrate that acute abstinence does not change the neuroendocrine response to orgasm, but does produce elevated levels of testosterone in males. This next study was titled A Research on the Relationship Between Ejaculation and Serum Testosterone Level in Men. Now, there were only 28 volunteers in this particular study, and the authors found that the fluctuations of testosterone levels from the 2nd to the 5th day of abstinence were minimal, but on the 7th day of no ejaculation, a clear peak of serum testosterone appeared, reaching 145.7% of baseline. No regular fluctuation was observed following continuous abstinence after the peak, and basically these results showed that ejaculation caused variations that were characterized by a peak on the 7th day of abstinence, and that the effective time of an ejaculation is 7 days minimum. So obviously this is pretty interesting research. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them down below. Let's get a forum and a discussion going. You will be seeing all of the things that I mentioned in the video description down below, so be sure to check those out. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you learned something new. and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.